Hey everyone. So I was trying to fiddle with a lot of things, and ultimately, I have my GPD win running in a better state. But even then, it's looking like for a lot of games, the GPD win is not going to be enough to run many GameCube games. So you can see, just going around in a village, for the most part, things will run okay when playing, but you'll many times be in the 20 FPS area. And then if there's any of the black ichor stuff that happens when you, well, at least when you first transform into the wolf, it'll start tanking performance. And if there's any other effects coming on, it'll really start bringing it down. I just wanted to make this video to kind of like go through a bunch of dolphin games that people were requesting, but are just not very good. Like right now, you're seeing like the FPS is pretty good, but going into towns is annoying. Some dungeons I've tried on different save games are not super playable. Mostly, I think we're gonna have to wait for further improvements from Dolphin or getting the Vulcan driver working on this guy. So it's probably just gonna be time that we have to wait for. Anyway, let's cancel out of that one, and we'll go on to Viewtiful Joe does run. I can show that real quick. Let's hope it loads without crashing. Something, yeah, we're fine. Okay, that's Viewtiful Joe. What else? Smash Brothers doesn't really run that well. When you're playing the first level, it's kind of, like when it's 1v1, it's kind of okay, but as soon as it becomes 2v2, it's not ideal. Don't really pay attention to that little hiccup that happened there. That has more to do with the 200 gig SanDisk micro SD card that I have. Any little hiccup that you see is like that is being caused from that card. But general performance is still going to be accurate. It's not. I've tried, moving it, but it's just the general hiccups that'll come from that SanDisk card. And here you'll see the performance is garbage. I've tried Ishiruka's build, and the asynchronous shader compilation does. I died in the first go. Does help a little bit. So there might be some like playing around to see how things work, but like I mean, you really need this game stable at 60 FPS, and it's not stable. Again, when it's 1v1, it's easy enough to hit 60. But outside of that, I don't know. It runs, but it's not ideal for me. I wouldn't play it at how it's running. Super Mario Sunshine, again, is a game that doesn't really... it's like almost there. It's literally almost there. It's running at like 70% full speed. So we're getting like 22 frames a second. I've tried a lot of different builds. I've tried a lot of different things, and there's just nothing doing for it. This is all of these things are running DirectX 12. Perhaps when a later version comes out, of Dolphin, and when, again, Intel makes Vulcan, we could revisit Dolphin, but it's just not happening. It's literally running at 60%, 66% of what it needs to be running. So if we could just get 30% somewhere, we'd be in business. But I don't think it's going to be happening. Hilariously, Super Mario Galaxy actually runs fairly well. Super Mario Strikers works well enough as a soccer game. It's playable. Can I load from here? Oh, good. There we have it. So I mean, like you can see, it's we go over here. Actually, I'll get better FPS when I'm looking at more crap. I was getting better FPS earlier. I was getting around 50 previously. Maybe I'm throttling. So yeah, the thing that I've increased my throttle limit from 60 Celsius to 70 Celsius. So perhaps that's one of the things. At this point, I just really need to do the heatsink mod to get it better. But again, almost there. Not there completely. What else we got? Oh, Rogue Leader was one thing that was requested. It runs. There's no problems, but it's a super taxing game. It was a taxing game for the GameCube, and it's not ideal on the GPD Win. Like even just getting into this part right here is like terrible. But yeah, so sub 30 frames a second, and it needs to be running at 60. So we're super far away from having this run well. Let's get out of that. What else we got? Resident Evil 4 runs okay. Mario Kart runs okay. Kind of depends. Like, I mean, it's like at 55, 52 frames a second. So it can be playable. It's not ideal, but it can be playable. Oh, whoops, I'm pushing enter instead of start. Go into a standard. How am I going to hit my assault? It's unfortunate. So yeah, I mean, Double Dash kind of works. Again, I think that we're going to... Oh, son of a... I think we're going to get a lot more mileage just like kind of waiting for updates and better drivers from Intel. But until then, a lot of these things are not going to be, they're going to be just out of reach. A lot of PlayStation 2 stuff is sort of similar. Let's back out of there. But yeah, we already seen F-Zero. So, I mean, largely, Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door is totally playable. Super Mario Strikers is as well. I'm sure there's a few other games that are good, but a lot of the bigger name ones. Legend of Zelda works okay, but not good enough. Sorry for the bad news. But we're just gonna have to wait for a better version of Dolphin and Vulcan.